Hello, friends. Welcome to another Thursday Night Live. Tonight, we are doing scrapbooking, which means I have my camera pulled way, way up here in the air, like right in the middle of my face, which isn't good for my face, but it's going to help us be able to see the full scrapbook layout here a little bit better. I'm trying to get the light kind of set up so you can see, so we can take a look at this. Tonight, we are doing scrapbooking. This is going to be a super easy layout. You can use it for Valentine's Day. I'm using it with my wedding photos, but really you could switch up the paper and use it for any occasion because that's how awesome it is. I do want to shout out to Kim Moore for this layout idea. We've been doing this in my bigger team. She kind of put it out there as a challenge last month. And so I used it to share with all of you because I think you're going to love it. So if you are here and joining me live, leave me a comment. Let me know if you have scrapbooked, if you want to try scrapbooking, or if you're just here to see some stamps and pretty paper, because that's good too. I'm going to have ideas for you, even if you aren't a scrapbooker. So if you're watching the replay, special welcome is to you as well. I am so glad that you are here for the replay. Leave me a comment. Let me know that you watched it, because I do love that. If this is your first time joining me, I am Heidi with Onigo Stamping. I'm going to help you reconnect with your inner artist by using stamps, ink, and paper to make beautiful handmade cards and gifts and scrapbook pages. So that's what we're doing tonight. Hello, Carol. Hello, Sherry. I'm going to go ahead and make my workspace look just a little bit bigger so we can dive into this. There we go. All right. This is the stamp sets that I'm using tonight. Now, one of these, the stamp set, Be My Valentine. I'm going to hold this up a little bit so you can see it. This came out last year. I love this set. I used it so much last year. I used it for Valentine's cards. I made a bunny out of it. I might have to pull out that bunny again because it's super cute. This is an awesome stamp set. So this year, just a month ago, Stampin' Up came out with a new scrapbooking set that coordinates with it. Now, what's nice is they all kind of have the same bee, but I don't know if you can see it. These bees are actually 3 different sizes. So you can make 3 different size bees with this. And in this one, the sentiments are a little bit bigger. So it's really meant for scrapbooking. There's also a scrapbook workshop kit that goes along with this as well and uses the same paper. So if you don't want to figure out your own layout at all, and you just want to like follow some nice written directions, the scrapbook workshop kit is going to be awesome for you because it has all of that in there. It tells you how to cut the stuff. It tells you everything. So I'm going to set those aside. I'm also using the coordinating pattern paper. I'm going to get some things out of the way. I have a lot going down over here. So I'm going to use the coordinating pattern paper, and I forgot to pull it out. So let me show you what we're using. Let's see if I can find all 6. It's so pretty. It's kind of like some of the pieces are a recoloring of the papers that they had last year to match the B set. And some of the papers are entirely new and different. So, all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is there a 6th one? This one. There we go. And then you can get it with a sticker sheet as well. I didn't use the sticker sheet on mine, but isn't that so cute? It says, better together, be happy, we belong together, all the buzz, just be you, beautiful life. It's going to be perfect for making more scrapbook pages. So much that you can make. I'm also using the 12 by 12 two-tone paper, of which I have to get out those sheets too. So I kind of put them all together in this. We're going to use the Petunia Pop and the Bubble Bath to make this. And these are 2-sided, so you can see one side is a little bit darker and one side is a little bit lighter. The same thing with the Bubble Bath, just like that. So really cute. Bethany, you're primarily a scrapbooker and you struggle to use your stamps. Oh, well, interesting. When I got into stamping, I got into it because I wanted to be able to use my stamps on my scrapbooks. So I am excited. All right. Here is one side of the paper. You can see it's got all these gorgeous, pretty patterns. And then, of course, the other side has like bees and things. So we got like flying bees. We got bees and flowers. Just really cute. I love this one. This one's so sweet. Isn't that sweet? So, and just some flowers, some bees, some honey pots, all sorts of good stuff in here. So it's a really great set of paper. Here is the basic scrapbook layout that we're going to be using. Now I have shrunk this down. I did it in scale. So this is in 1/2 inch scale. So instead of a 12 by 12 piece, it's 6 by 6, just so that you can kind of see it all in one glance, right? And I drew this very quickly, but you're going to see we have these 6 squares on both sides. We're going to put a title up here. We're going to add some other embellishments and some banners up there. So let's go ahead and pop this together. We'll see how we do. I'm going to start with my 2 pieces of Petunia Pop. Petunia Pop. And the first thing I want to do is I'm going to cut out the center of these. Now I want to be able, I'm cutting out the center so that I can use this cardstock to layer my photos too. So all I'm going to do, this is 12 by 12 paper. So I'm putting it in my paper trimmer at 1 inch over here on the right. And I'm going to cut from 11 down to 1. Right. And then I'm going to turn it. And we're going to do the same thing on all 4 sides. And you just have to be a little bit careful that you don't forget what you're doing and get overzealous and cut too far. So, all right. So cutting all this. Boom, boom, boom. And we're going to do the same thing on both of these. There we go. We just cut the center out. Now, if these corners aren't perfect, that's okay because we're actually going to cover those up. All right, so I did that with one. I want to go ahead and do it with the other one as well. So again, the same thing. I'm just lining it up on the right side at 1 inch and cutting from 11 inches down to 1 inch, and then turning that and doing it on all 4 sides. So lining it up at 1 inch, cutting from 11 to 1, and repeat. Repeat, repeat, repeat. All right. One more to go. Hello, Sandy Beach in Oceanside, California. I'd like to be in California right now because it is cold and very, very windy at my house. I feel like my house is going to fall down again. All right, so now we have these 2 that are ready to be the base. And we're like, well, what are we going to put in the middle? Let me show you. This is where I'm going to grab the 2 pieces of Bubble Bath. Sherry, you've never cut out the centers before. It's kind of a little bit different. And I'm going to cut these 2 pieces of Bubble Bath at 10.5 by 10 3/4. No, 11.5 by 11 3/4. Glad I caught myself. 11.5 by 11 3/4. So that's the 11.5. And then I'm just going to turn it and cut it this way at 11 3/4. And I'm going to carefully lay this next to me. I want to keep the 11 3/4 is going to go side to side, and the 11.5 is top to bottom. So I'm going to do that again. I love that the paper trimmer has an arm that folds out, so I can line it up over here at 11.5, and then turn it and do 11 3/4. And there we go. And we can do the first part of putting them together. So I'm going to just start with one. I'm going to set half of this aside. Try not to tear my paper. It now has stamp sets sitting on it. Let's just get those out of the way. All right, I'm going to set half of this aside, and we'll come to page 2 in a bit. And I'm going to start with page 1. So what we're going to do is we are going to line this up on here. You know what I lost? So, well, we'll just make a new one. It's all good. Or no, they're here. Here we go. I knew I had this. All right. This is a little tip for you. I have these 2 pieces. These were cut from the backing of the pattern paper. I can't get one out, but all of our pieces of pattern paper, they come with this piece of kind of like a heavy cardboard in the back. And I cut 2 of these. These are both a 1/4 inch. And so I'm going to use these to help me line up my project. So I'm just going to line that up at the bottom because I want to have a 1/4 inch at the bottom and about a 1/4 inch at the top. Now the paper might not be perfectly square, but we're going to line those up, and that way we can see that it's kind of like even. So Mary, you're watching from Indiana and you're excited to mix up some stamping with scrapbooking. Awesome. Love that. All right. Where is my adhesive? Monsieur Green Glue, where did you go? Oh, there it is. So now I'm going to grab my green glue. What is a little bit different about this? You'll notice when I put this on, I'm not going to center it on the base. And that's why I cut it 11.5 by 11 3/4, because on the right side, it's going to go all the way to the edge. And then on the left side, we're going to have about a 1/4 inch empty. A 1/4 inch border. That's the word. Those are the words I'm looking for. And I'm going to go with the lighter color. I kind of, my sample that I'm going to show you at the end, I mixed it up and I had originally planned to go with this combination with dark and then the light. And I messed up. I like put them together wrong. So we'll just put this on here, slide it over, and I'm just going to eyeball this now. Oops, you know what? That's not a 1/4 inch. Oh no. See what I just did? I turned it sideways. I knew I was going to do that. Luckily, it was not dry yet, and we can just flip it around. Maybe. Now it's like starting to dry, and so it's harder to move. All right, hopefully we get this. It's also hard to see. It's hard to work with 12 by 12. All right. I don't think I can move this. I think it's going to be just off a little bit. After all that talking and telling you hints, and then I messed it up. Isn't that how it goes? It's okay. It's okay. Just, oh, this is making me crabby here. Because it's so off. Pull this apart. All right, and I got that. Look how sideways I got this. Well, we're just gonna let it go. Oh, I can't. It's too hard to talk and pay attention to things sometimes. All right, I want to show you what I have here. Here are the rectangles that we're going to put on this. And these are all 3 3.25 inches by 4.25 inches. And I'm going to lay them out on here. I'm going to lay them out on here. These are going to go over here. Okay. And maybe we'll lay this one up here. And I have extras because we do need some extras. There we go. And put this one here. And maybe I'll put this one here. And that's pretty good. All right. So we have 6 of them on there. And the other ones are for the other page. So now I'm going to put these on here. And again, this is what I have this little jig for, is to help me get these straight. Let's see if I can do a better job this time. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this down with sticky notes to hold it in place for me. I forgot that's what I did when I was doing the sample. I held it down with sticky notes. So I'm just going to take my little 1/4 inch piece of cardstock here. I'm going to line it up with the edge of my paper. And I'm going to sticky note it down so it stays in place. All right. And then I'm going to put my piece on. And this is going to be about a 1/4 inch from the bottom. I'm not going to worry too much. We're just going to kind of eyeball that. But I made 2 of these because I'm also going to put one at the top to help me get this straight. So we're going to stick this in here, and I'm just going to line it up at the top of this first one. I'm going to sticky note this in place. Slide over just a little bit so I can stick it in here. Because we're going to move this one in just a minute. So I kind of want to put this down so I don't have to move it. There we go. All right. And then this go over here. Just like that. So then I can take the top one and put it down. And then we'll move one of our little things. So here's the plaid. I'm going to put this on the top. And just line that up. All right, now I'm going to take off this guide and I'm just going to move it over and line it up with the edges over here as best I can. Apparently those weren't quite the same size, but it's okay. If it's not perfect, it's fine. So then we can glue the next 2 on. There we go. And the one on the bottom. Just like this. And we'll move it again and do the next one. So you cased one of my cards today, Amy. I am so glad to hear that. So there you go. We're getting this all on here. Get these lined up again. We'll put on our last 2. So now I pulled out pictures, and I'm going to show you my sample at the end. But I pulled out pictures for this. I was trying to decide like what I wanted to do because honestly, you know, I don't do a ton of Valentine's Day stuff anymore. I have pictures of the kids when they were little. And then I could have pulled out. I could have done that. But I had a realization the other day that my husband and I are coming up. This is kind of goofy. My husband and I are coming up on the 30th anniversary of when we got married, or when we got engaged. Not when we got married, when we got engaged. So our 30th anniversary of when we got engaged is coming up, and it was on Valentine's Day. So 30 years ago on Valentine's Day, my husband and I got engaged. So I thought, well, this would be a perfect time to pull out those pictures and put some pictures from when we were dating on these pages, and some wedding pictures, and just kind of do something fun. So there is the base for our first page. Isn't that fun? It's so easy. And I'm just going to set this aside for a minute, and we're going to do some more cutting and stamping. I'm going to pull back in. So I have those 2 centers that I cut out of the Petunia Pop paper. And I'm going to pull these back in, and I'm going to cut some pieces for, what did I just lose? Something just fell. I'll probably be looking for it later. I'm going to cut the pieces that I'm going to layer my photos on from this Petunia Pop. And the first piece that I need to do, I'm going to cut, let me see, I'm just trying to, let's try cutting 4 1/4 this way. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to start by cutting 4 1/4 this direction. We'll see how many I can get. And I need 2 pieces that are 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So we're going to cut those 2 first. There's 3 1/4 and 3 1/4. And those are the same size as these, because on the other page, we're going to remove 2 of the pattern papers and we're going to use photos there instead. This one is not going to be big enough. So let me see. 3 1/4 by 2 1/2. I can cut that one out of this. 3 1/4 by 2 1/2. And now I need 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Let's do that. 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then I'm going to cut a 4 by 5. So we'll cut 5 inches and we'll cut another piece off this side. And all of these dimensions are on my blog post that coordinates with this. So if you want to remake this card, you can. They are over there for you. And we're going to cut the last one 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. So there we go. So those are all for my photos. I'm just going to set those aside for a minute. I do want to grab some bubble bath, and I forgot to pull it out. So I'm just going to grab a piece of bubble bath. And I need the bubble bath piece to be 3 5/8 by 4 5/8. So let's do it this way first. This is going to be 4 5/8. And then I'm going to cut it 3 5/8. I wonder if this is actually bubble bath. Sometimes I keep thinking I keep getting pretty and pink in with my bubble bath when I put things away. I'm going to double check. Haha, see, look. It was pretty pink. It was not bubble bath. Let me pull out the bubble bath. That color's so different than the two-tone cardstock, though. Like, it's kind of, I don't know. But we're going to go with it. All right, let's cut that piece again. It's 4 5/8 by 3 5/8. And then we're going to do some stamping. We're going to set this aside and we're going to do some stamping. So 3 5/8 by 4 5/8. There we go. All right, so I have all the pieces that I need for mounting my photos. And now I want to do some stamping. So I'm going to find in the chaos that's on my desk, I'm going to find some pieces of white. And we're going to do a little stamping. Yay! Now I am mixing and matching the 2 sets. For my sample pages, I'll show you those in just a little bit. For the sample pages, I used the large B from the new Meant to Be set. But then I made the sample pages before this week. And this week, they came out and told us that the Bee Builder Punch, you can get it free during celebration. So when you place at least a $60 order, you can get the Bee Builder Punch free. So I was like, well, let's try using the Bee Builder Punch instead. So I grabbed the one from the, what is it? Be My Valentine set, which is just a little bit smaller. And I think it's still going to look super cute. I'm going to grab my bubble bath and I'm going to stamp 2 of these bees. So there's 1 and 2. And I'm going to stamp their like stingers and their stripes with Petunia Pop. So they're going to really match. This whole page layout that I did is all pink, all pink and purpley color. So, all right. I'm going to stamp them this way because I might do that one again. Not paying attention to what I'm doing. This one I screwed up its little stinger. So we're just going to do it again. I'm stamping them this way with the stinger to the left because that's what's going to work. No, I did that wrong. They should have been with the stinger to the right. We'll just cut them apart. Normally, I always tell you, I'm like, always look at the bottom and see which way they're going. And it was sitting on my desk this side up. And I was like, oh, we're going to put it on the left. That's why we don't, friends. But we'll just go with it. So let's stamp this one's body again. It's actually easier to stamp the stripes first. And I don't know why I didn't do that. That was really kind of silly of me. We're also going to put some wings. And for the wings with this one, you can stamp the heart and then stamp the wings over it. So that's what I'm going to do. And I need a couple extra hearts too. So let's just go ahead, stamp some hearts. And I'm going to stamp some little hearts with the Petunia Pop. We'll stamp the wings. So these wings, you can stamp them over the heart. I don't know why they didn't just like make that a full, like, yeah, it's wings, but like if they had just kept going, then it could be wings or hearts, just like the heart, but alas. Oh, we need to stamp some little hearts too. Let's do these. I can't remember how many I need, so I'm just going to go ahead and stamp them. So there we go. And now, since I didn't do these the right direction, I'm going to grab my scissors and we're just going to cut it in strips before we punch. So there we go. Now I can come in and punch these out. The heart is gonna, there's like a heart shape, and that will punch out the wings, of course. Punch out the next wings. And that just flew into my shirt. Of course it did. And we'll punch the bee. So we'll line him up. Give him a punch. And then we'll go punch the other bee. There we go. And we'll punch some more hearts. We got some big hearts that we're going to punch. There's one. There's two. And now I maybe I do it this way. Okay, we're going to cut these apart so I can get in there. These ones I can punch like this. The little ones too, which is why I really like the punch. Punch this one. Tried to move on me. Oh, that one must have gone flying. All right. We'll come in here. Try to get this third one. There we go. So punch those. We're going to save this one. Push all these aside. So there's a whole bunch of stamping and punching we did. Now I want to add on some little faces to my bees because bees have to have faces, right? Both of these sets have different faces for the bees. Well, I think they have like one that's the same and a couple that are different. So I'm going to use this one. And I'm making my bees go 2 different directions. You can do that. And I'm going to use that one. They both look so cute. So cute. And then, oh, I don't want to put this away because we need to stamp their little antennae. There's that one. And here's this one. There we go. They're so cute. Let me show you. I'm gonna hold them up because I know you can't see them very well. So I'm all zoomed out. Are they adorable? They're so cute. Of course, we have to put their wings on them. So what we can do is just put a little bit of adhesive under the edge of this wing. And then pop those on and make my bees. Oh, they're so cute. They're the bee's knees. There we go. There's our second little bee. So cute, right, Kim? Yes, so cute. All right. One more thing, or 2 more things I want to stamp right now. I need to grab another piece of white. So I want to stamp the sentiment because I'm also going to stamp these with Sherry, you like those? And Bethany, yeah, they're so cute. All right, I'm going to stamp the sentiments with Petunia Pop. I'm using the one that says, "We are meant to be." And I'm going to use this one that says, "Love this life." I like that one. Love this life. So there we go. And then we're going to put the stamps away for a little while, and we're going to do some die cutting. We're going to do a little bit of everything tonight. So put the stamps away, the ink paper away. Now, what I'm going to do is that the Meant to Be set has coordinating dies with it, which are here on my table somewhere. It is chaos. If you guys could see, like, oh, you can already see the chaos is coming in over here. It's even more chaos all the way over that side. So here we go. These are the dies, and they have these cool, really awesome hexagons. And then they got the bee and the flowers and the antennae and the heart and all that kind of good stuff. So I need the 2 smallest hexagons for doing these. And I'm going to grab some more of that Petunia Pop paper. So this is still the paper that I pulled out of the center. And now we're going to cut some of it out. So here's this Petunia Pop. I'm going to cut this big one first out of this piece. And we're going to cut some of the hearts as well, because there's a little heart. We'll cut a heart. And then on the other side, I am going to make some kind of banner pieces. And I want to show you how I cut the bottoms of the banners, because I use these dies as well to do the banners. So I have this piece that is another piece of the pattern paper, and I'm going to grab the smallest of these, and I'm going to lay that banner on here. And this one we're just going to cut out. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to just pull this down so that, oops, I got to do it the other way. Let's get it the right direction. I'm going to pull this down so that where those corners are, it's going to be straight across the top, because this is just going to be a banner. It's not going to be a whole hexagon. And we can secure that down with a sticky note. And then we will go ahead and run this through my cut and emboss machine and get some pieces. Oops, it tried to move on me. Very rude. Right. There we go. Here is one hexagon. Now, what's really cool, check this out. It made a hexagon, and then this other side, where's my take your pick tool? It is gone on take your pick vacation. There it is. Punch this out. It's kind of stuck in there. But on the outside, you actually get like a hexagon frame, I guess is what we'll call it. So I love that. We're going to use that piece too. This piece is done. My cat has come to visit again tonight. He does not like the wind, so he's not very happy. But then this is one of the banners we're going to use. So that's fun. And this is one of our hearts. So we need to cut out the other heart. So we'll just go ahead and put that back on there. And then I'm going to use this paper. Oh, this is really big. Let's cut this down just a little bit. We're going to put the larger die on here, but I need to make it so it actually fits. So I'm just going to lay it on there and slice it off. There we go. That's the one I just used. I need to use the smaller one. Let's get it right. Let's get it right. All right. So now there's the smaller one, and I'm putting this on the lighter side because I want the smaller one to be lighter. And I have another one of pieces for a banner. Now this one is a lot skinnier and it's a lot longer. So you can see if I cut it that way, it would cut both ends. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to slide the top end out through the top of my die, and we're just going to cut the bottom with the die. So we'll line that up. I'll take my sticky note and stick that down, and we'll cut these. Cut all of these. Things are falling over on my shelf. So there we go. Hello from very hot Australia. Whew, it's not very hot here. All right, so here we go. There's two more. And then this one, oops, my sticky note gave out. Now I have the banner, and in here we have another little piece, and I'm going to save this as well because we're going to use it too. So if I can get it out, and of course I did it on the side that doesn't have a hole. There we go. But we're going to use this one too. And then this comes off, and we have another heart, and we have all the things. And we're just going to set these dies back in here before I lose them, and set them somewhere where they won't fall away. All right. And let's go back to our page and start putting this together. So here's our page again. We have our B, and I want to use this right here. And I'm going to use the larger of the two hexagons, and we're going to put that hexagon right there. And then the larger hexagon is going to go over here. All right, with our B on it. Isn't that cute? So, so cute. Just adorable. I want to take my sentiment, and I'm going to cut out my sentiment. I think I might just lay all this on here and not glue it down. And I'm going to show you my example, because I don't think you need to sit here and watch me just glue things. That's not very exciting. Right now, though, I am going to go ahead and just cut out my little sentiment. And I am just fussy cutting around this. And cutting across the top. Ooh, the wind is blowing out there. So there we go. We have a "We Are Meant to Be." That's going to go up there. And I'm just going to slice off the "Love This Life" with my paper trimmer. And I'm not even really going to measure it. I'm just going to slice it. So there's that. Now for the pictures on this page, this is coming in here. We got our sentiment. We got our bees. We got all the things. Here is, I'm going to find the right pieces. Here is one photo. This is going to go kind of here. All right. And then our other photo is a 4x4 photo. It's going to go up here. And I'm actually going to flip this over. So it's going to go like that. And I had, I sat here and I took time to make like photo place cards, and I don't know where they all went to. I lost them now. Whatever, we'll pretend. So this would be a photo here. And then this, oh, here we go. And then there's the 4x4 one there. And that would be the first page. All right. Let me show you what this looks like. Oh, and I actually, no, I'm going to amend that. I did come in and I took some of these little hearts that we punched out and I added them in here. All right. Isn't that cute? So much fun. So easy. So then what we do on the other one, and again, I think I'm not going to glue this. I'm just going to lay it out for you. I'm going to walk you through it and then I'll show you my sample. So we're just going to lay this on here just like we did the first page. And when I do this, I'm actually going to lay my first page right here next to it so that I can get it. So, and it's hard to get this all in screen, but I want to get this so that the bubble bath looks like it's lined up all the way across the 2-page spread. So I would do that first. And then once I have adhered that down, then I can come in with the rest of my pieces. And we're going to come back in. Remember we had those, what are they, 4 1/4 by 3 1/4 inch. And we do the exact same thing. I take my strips and I line those up across the bottom. And I line and I do it all. Like I do it all like nice and neat. Right now though, I'm just gonna lay them on here so you can see. So we put them like that. And then we cut, remember we're gonna have 2 photos that are that size too. So we come in with the 2 photos. All right. And then I have 2 other size photos. Now you could use whatever size photos you want. It's really up to you. These kind of fit the photos that I had. So I pulled them in there and put them like that. And then those banners are going to come in up here. And I didn't cut all of them because there's 3. But we just line them up, put some banners, pull these out a little bit to the side. And then I actually took like this little piece. Remember how we saved that little tiny piece? And I put that right here. And then there's a 3rd banner that comes in here. And you can cut off the tops at the length that you want, but that's going to create your banners. And I missed cutting one of the hexagons. I'm not going to go back to it though, but I put a hexagon down here and I added some hearts over here just to pull it all in. And we get a cute page. And I'm going to show you what this looks like because that's all there is to it. So let me move all my pieces out of the way and let me show you what I did. So here we go. Here is my first page. I'm going to show you them separately and then I will show them together. Here's the first page. And for my photos, I took my photos and for the most part, you're going to see on the other page, I scanned them and made them black and white. But then I left this one wedding photo of us together in color. But you can see how I added the bee up there and we have the meant to be. When I did go in and I stamped, that was kind of scary, but I stamped on his little like flight trail. I don't know what you call it. And then you guys, I have to show you this because it's so sweet. Don't tell my husband that I shared. But this is actually, can you see it? It's what he gave me a card when he proposed. And that was written inside of it because I think he was just really nervous. So I photocopied it and printed it on cardstock and cut it out and added that to the page, which I think is so sweet. All right. And then here is the second page. So you can see how it came together. You can see I have those banners up there and I added those additional hearts up there as well. And then I cut out another hexagon down here and I added the Be Mine from the Be My Valentine set and that other bee on this side as well. And then some little hearts over here. So, and that's just pictures of us like when we were dating, our engagement picture, all that kind of good stuff. So here is those 2 pages together. I'm going to take my picture. I'm going to take me out of this screen so that, let's see if this works. There we go. So you can see the whole effect. So that is the 2 pages. They almost fit, but you can see how the bubble bath, like it lines up, these line up, they kind of all go straight across the page and give you that full look. So really sweet. This was so much fun to do. And like I said, I wanted to come in and make another set of pages, like using a completely different pattern paper. And I ran out of time. Sometimes life happens. I ran out of time and I didn't do that. But you could definitely do this with any pattern paper, any stamps, make something completely different. Do it for, a completely different holiday or occasion or whatever. It's just that versatile. And you can see how on this page, especially, I just put the photos on top of those rectangles. So you wouldn't even need to have photos that lined up. You could just put more pattern paper in there, or you could put a journaling block in there. Whatever you want to do, it's super versatile. You can kind of mix it up and match. So that is all I have for you tonight. Thank you all for joining me. This live was a little bit longer than they normally are. Scrapbooking takes longer. I think that's why I make cards. So, but thank you for joining me. Like I said, all of the dimensions and everything is over on my blog, and the link to that is in the description to the video. So if you want those dimensions to be able to recreate this, you can pop over to my website and they're going to be there for you. My website is www.onigostamping.com. And if you go to actually card making ideas, even though it's scrapbook pages, it's still under the card making ideas heading. If you go in there, it's going to be the first one that pops up for you. So yeah, that's all I have for you tonight. I will be back next week. Next week, we're doing a fun fold, and I think it's going to be so fun. I can't wait to share it with you. Have a fabulous weekend and stay warm.